As you begin to pay off debt, you are going to be amazed at how much money you have left at the end of the month. Paying off multiple debts can be overwhelming, but it is actually much a good deal easier than it seems while you implement proven strategies. As you begin to make progress, it'll sense as although you're earning extensively more money, you'll be able to maintain a great deal extra of what you earn instead of sending it off to the bank. For a list of monthly debt bills payments by using these useful tips to pay off debt quickly, chances are that you'll be debt-free much earlier than anticipated. Investing. If you're interested by enhancing your economic future, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. If this video is helpful, cut up credit cards. The most important part of starting to pay off debt is not being tempted to take on any greater debt if overspending is inflicting you to make unnecessary purchases and borrow more money. It might be in your best interest to cut up all of your credit cards, or at least remove them from your wallet. The average credit card holder has nearly $6,000 of credit card debt, according to MoneyGeek.com, and with interest rates often reaching or exceeding 30%, this is a problem that have to be addressed. Buying items on a credit card can nearly sense like free money because you don't want to pay in full immediately. But once those balances start accruing interest, they become nearly impossible to pay off when you make the minimum payments. Because the payments you are making are nearly totally made up of interest, learn to be content. Understanding you could be content without spending money way past your means is a trait so that will help you in many different approaches. Being happy with what you have doesn't mean you're in no way allowed to need for something more: a nicer car, a large home, or a new phone. This is more about thinking about the cost of an item and determining just how much value it's going to offer. For example, you might want a bigger home due to the fact it would be nice to have the extra area, but it's going to come with a steep price tag that will double your month-to-month housing costs. The new house could really be an improvement over your current house, but is it clearly worth the money required? The same thought process should be applied to different purchases, like a new vehicle. Each person loves a brand new car, but then you will have the payment and costs that come with it, and you might decide it's an overall net negative. Taking a examine the whole picture and weighing all execs and cons will help you make an educated decision, and you will be less inclined to race out and spend money. You might even decide to sell some of what you have. Recollect a debt repayment strategy, enforcing a method to be able to guide you through the debt payoff process as a critical step. A famous method, and one recommended by Dave Ramsey, is the debt snowball. This includes paying off your smallest debt first. Like a store credit card, you will throw all extra money towards the smallest loan by using greenback quantity, whilst making minimal payments and all other larger debts. Once the smallest loan is paid in full, you will attention on the second smallest debt, and then the third smallest debt. The ultimate debt you may pay off will be the largest dollar amount, like a car or home mortgage. As soon as the smallest loan is paid in full, you may interest on the second smallest debt, and then the third smallest debt. The closing debt you may pay off will be the largest dollar amount, like a car or home loan. Whether or not you operate the sort of strategies or expand your own plan, having some kind of direction will help you stay on song rather than trying to pay off each debt immediately. Analyze spending. Creating a budget, or at least having an information of your earnings and expenses, is a good idea at all times, but it's even extra important when you're trying to dig yourself out of a hole. Having a solid understanding of your profits and prices isn't always just for poor people. Rich people try this as nicely. You should know where your money is being spent, so you can decide how to make adjustments that will help you carry out your plan. Many people beings are amazed at how plenty money they're throwing away once they keep track of exactly where it's going. Consider using the popular 50-30-20 method. Keep essential expenses such as housing and requirements at 50% of your earnings, or under-allocate 30% from wants and 20% for savings, investments, and debt pay down. You can make adjustments. However, this is a good place to begin if you're wondering why you're absolutely broke at the end of the month. Most people who begin the usage of a finances in one form or every other sense that they have got found money that in any other case might have been lost. Increase income. Definitely placed. A lack of money is caused by two things: spending too much money and not incomes enough. Cautiously analyzing spending is important because even someone who makes $1 million per year could be broke if their spending is out of control. Increasing your profits is also very important, but of course this is less difficult said than done. There are a few easy strategies you could take to bring in more money. These include asking a improve at work in case you sense you're being underpaid considering market charges for your role. Possibly you haven't had a boost in many years, despite extensive experience, or new hires are being paid tons more for the same exact job, or your employer's competition could pay you more money, and you could change companies. Putting in a few more hours every week, whether you're an employee or have your own business, could make a large difference in your ability to pay down debt. Moreover, think about creating an extra earnings movement outside of your main job. This doesn't necessarily imply taking on another full-time job. It could simply be a couple hours per week at another job, or working for yourself. Make larger bills. Paying more than the minimum payment every month will help you progress substantially towards becoming debt-free. When you make a minimum payment, it's made from interest and precept. However, when making larger payments, all the more money could move without delay towards reducing the balance. For example, if you make a normal minimum payment, but add $300 to it, the $300 you introduced on top of the minimum payment could go directly towards decreasing your debt. Simply think of how long you're going to be in debt by not making larger than required payments through simplest, making the minimum payment required. You're going to draw the length of each loan out for its complete time period, which will increases the cost of the loan significantly. Pay more than once per month. Making payments more often can be an extremely helpful tip when trying to pay off debt. Let's say you have an extra $50 that you're planning on applying closer your debt. When you make your next payment, you could leave the money for your checking account until the next month, whilst the bill comes due, provided it is still there. However, a common conduct is that people end up spending money that's left sitting idle because it tends to burn a hole in their pocket. Seeing that money in your account will make you sense wealthier, and you may subconsciously see that as extra spending money. When you have an extra $50 in your account, rather of saying to yourself, I'll put that more $50 towards the bill when it is due, practice it closer the loan balance proper away before you end up spending it on something else. Doing so could also save you interest. Stay motivated. Paying off debt can take a long time depending on how many debts you've and how large they are. One of the keys to having a successful debt payoff adventure is to live motivated. Losing motivation halfway via may want to purpose you to end up back at rectangular 1 with a mountain of debt. Think of how your finances will look once you become debt-free and how much money you're going to have to enjoy and invest. Focus on why you want to be debt-free and how it will make lifestyles easier and more enjoyable. Keep track of your progress as you make payments over time. Inside the moment, it may feel like you haven't made much progress in any respect. However, if you zoom out and take a look at your progress over time, it'll be much more apparent. Putting goals of when you'd like to have a specific debt paid off, when you'd like to become debt-free, and what's going to be special once accomplishing this intention will help you keep that end result in mind, and it'll be less difficult to stay the course. You are going to see substantially extra development towards becoming debt-free. While you use those tested pointers, they will require a little effort on your part, but the end result of living a life free of debt is going to have many blessings. Rather of wasting endless dollars on interest to the bank, you can begin to make investments and earn interest of your own, which will give you more free time, permit you to travel and buy things that are important to you.